Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my August wrap up.
I remember when my mother would kiss me goodnight and tuck me in, and we would pray together. I recall a day a stranger had told me to not let my smile fade when the world was prettier. Oh, my innocence is gone, and I feel the cold front on its way now. I remember when the devil on my shoulder told me there'd be a day where I might suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. I said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe. Can't go back to the days of playing hide and seek. Yeah. I don't know when an enemy came by and planted an evil seed. Oh, if only I could find a way to rid the fear that's grown inside of me and taken over me. Oh, my innocence is gone, but my flame is going strong. Won't let it suffocate. Running fast, pressure's on, and I can barely breathe. I said goodbye to the days of playing hide and seek. Running fast, pressure's on, I need some air to breathe.
So as I do every month, I participate in the Buzzword Readathon hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. For the month of August, the prompt was to read a book with the word like in the title. For that one, I chose to read Blood Like Magic, but unfortunately, I did not get to it. I am going to be rolling it over into September. I was also rolling over the prompts for February and June. February was to read a book with a positive word in the title. For that one, I picked A Promised Land by Barack Obama. I have not gotten to finish this book. I've been reading a chapter here and there since February because it's such a tough read for me because I'm not a politics fan and not American. So there's also that. But yeah, I haven't finished that one. But I did finish the prompt for June, which was to read a book with a repeat word in the title. For that one, I went with As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. This is the final book of the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I have mixed feelings about this book. I gave it a 3 stars because up until the first half of the book, it was really, really good. And I felt like we were just wrapping up everything from the beginning of the trilogy. So in book 2, we were going somewhere else than the first true crime story we were researching in book number 1, which is fine. I didn't mind that. I didn't think that we were going to go back to that and connect some dots between book number 1 and book number 2, which did happen in here. And I'm not unhappy about it. I think it did it well. And I was warned that this book gets darker and talks a lot about PTSD, which I don't mind. I think it was age appropriate for the PTSD, the darkness of the content. I wasn't too worried about that. What I didn't like is where it went in the second half, where our main character just did something that was completely out of character for her and took bad decisions and kind of got away with it. And I just hated that because it went against everything the trilogy was building from the beginning. So yeah, really disappointed with the ending there. I really wish it went elsewhere, but I can understand some teens enjoying it. Nonetheless, I just personally did not like that route at all. But yeah. I also participate every month in the Choose Your Own Adventure hosted by G from Book Roast. And that readathon is for every month where the Orwellium doesn't take place. So usually Orwellium takes place in April and August. This year it was moved into September instead of August. So we just took the Choose Your Own Adventure prompt from September and switched it with August. So the prompt for September was to read a book that was scary or dark. For that one, I went with The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. It's not scary, but I feel like the end of the world is kind of dark. So yeah, I'm making this count as dark. Oh my god. My brain today. Anyways, I gave it a 5 stars. It's not my favorite of the trilogy because it's a little bit slower and it does set up some things for later, which is fine. It's not necessarily filler. I do think these things that are talked about in here are necessary. These experiences are necessary to move forward. But it was a little bit slower, and it does set the tone for the third and last book. And some things are explained, some things are a little bit more developed, and it's gonna make so much more sense in the third book. Trust me, if you're in the middle of reading this, just trust the author. It's all gonna make sense. I still give it a 5 stars because it's that good, just not 6 stars like the 5th season. But 5 stars, strongly recommend. This trilogy is top tier. I did intend to read the third and last book of the trilogy in August. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to finish it in August. I finished it on September 1st. So all counted for my September reads, but I did read 2/3 of this in August. I'm also trying to read one Robin Hobb book every month and from the realm of the Elderlings. And right now I'm now on the Ship of Magic. I'm way behind my own reading Robin Hobb thing. This is book number 4 in the whole 15 books, 16 books. And yeah, I'm supposed to be on book number 8. 4 books behind, but it's fine. It's all good. I unfortunately didn't get too far. I'm 138 pages in out of 800 something. So not even a quarter through. I am enjoying it, but unfortunately did not finish it in August. Also, I do have a surprise book that I started doing because I wrapped up all of the books except for like sequels, but all of the other books I haven't read yet that are on my TBR that I own, I wrap them up and my son picks one every month. So August was the first month I was actually trying this and I loved doing it. And my son just loves picking books for me as well. So for August, my surprise book was Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, and life does things in such weird ways. This is following a teenage boy who is struggling with mental illness, and we have a lot of that going on in the house, especially anxiety and severe anxiety, amongst other things. And my son has been starting to get a lot of those anxiety episodes as well, and it was just so fitting. The timing of me reading this, I would not have enjoyed this book as much as I did if it wasn't for the right timing of reading it. And I felt like the rep was so good. Like what one person is going through and experiencing with their mental illness is not necessarily the same for everyone. That's for sure. But I feel like it really depicts well what someone could be experiencing and what it feels like in general, even if it's not the same for everyone, if that makes any sense. I loved that the parents of this teenage boy were just trying their best and open and present for their child, which is not the case for everyone. I really loved seeing that on page. It can be a little bit confusing because it's not necessarily a plot-driven book. It's not necessarily character-driven book either. It's a lot more philosophical and more reflexive on mental illness and how we deal with it daily, and like, what do you do in your day-to-day life to try to cope with that. So you have to go in this with the right mindset, if that makes sense. But if you're going into it, if you're picking this up and you're open-minded and just going with the flow and absorbing everything that's happening, it's gonna make sense. And it is kind of poetic in a way. It was so gut-wrenching, and I don't want to say wholesome. It wasn't necessarily wholesome, but because it wasn't necessarily that. But what this book did was so important. And I really hope a lot more people will read this because this is gold. 5 stars. I had many more books on my TBR. Unfortunately, I did not get to any of those because of so many things. I was still on summer vacation and up until the mid part of August. I was also away on camping trip and didn't read much in that trip, but I tried. And then school started again. So I'm kind of in a rush of getting back to school and adapting to my new routine and schedule and getting everything done that I wanted to get done before school started. I didn't get to that. It was a roller coaster of a month, and I tried my best with what I was able to do, and that was 3 books, which is better than no books at all, because I do know that there's a month, was it this year or last year? I think this year I had a month with 0 books read. Yep, in March I didn't read any books, so I guess that 3 books is better than none. I'm happy with everything that I've read. It was an amazing reading experience for the books that I did get to read, so I'm happy with that, and we'll see what the rest of the year brings us. I'm still 9 books behind, but it's okay. One day at a time. Let me know how your August reading month was. Let me know if you've read any of the books I've talked about. Do you agree with me or not? Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in the next one.